Welcome to Taking Your NAU Degree to an Entirely New Dimension, part of NAU's Alumni Webinar Series. Our host today is Carolyn Hartzler, an NAU alumna, former employee, and current consultant with the Proctor-Gallagher Institute. Carolyn will tell you more about her career and consulting experiences as part of her presentation, which will appeal to NAU students, alumni, and employees because she has walked in all those shoes. Carolyn will offer insight on how we can be empowered to realize our own personal goals and achieve personal and professional success. Carolyn, welcome, and thank you for sharing your expertise with us today.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for inviting me to be here. I'm very grateful to have this privilege to come and share with you something that has transformed my life. It's changed me so much that I'm devoting my life and my work to sharing it with others. And today that includes you. I work with people to help them realize their dreams. I have two messages. First, the opportunities that lay ahead in your life are absolutely without limit. And second, you are in control of your life and the results you're getting. That applies to me too. And for me, that's exciting because it means that if I'm dissatisfied with any aspect of my life, I have the power to change it. I know this is basic, but it is also very profound. So let's talk about opening ourselves up to a whole new dimension. It may be your degree, or rather what your degree has given you. Some, if not most of us, are NAU graduates, our NAU degree. It can bring something and a new dimension to you and to the work you do and the life you live. I'm Carolyn Hartzler. I work as a consultant and a mentor, and the focus of my work is human potential and success. A little bit about my journey from NAU to being here today. I received my bachelor's degree in business administration from NAU in 1998. I worked for 8 years in student services at the Sioux Falls campus until I got married in 2002 and moved to Ohio. In 2010, I was given a diagnosis of cancer. I opted for alternative treatments and I experienced complete healing. And at the same time as I received that diagnosis, my husband and I were introduced to a network marketing company. We started using their products, and we also chose to do the business. And it is through that experience that I realized I was not satisfied with the results I was getting in my business or in my life. I knew it had nothing to do with the business or the industry we were working in. They were both excellent. But something was holding me back, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Through my desire to improve and to get better results, I crossed paths with a gentleman who is now my mentor. And it was through learning and studying with him that I grew to understand I was getting in my own way and that I had the power to change my circumstances. Our mind is our spiritual part of us, and this is what enables us to bring new dimension to our life and to whatever we do. We live simultaneously on 3 levels. On one level, we're spiritual beings. On another level, we have our intellect. And at the same time, we live in a physical body. Our spiritual side includes our mind. An important aspect of our mind is that we think in pictures. If I say the word car, what comes to your mind? Do you see the letters of the word car? No, an image of a car flashes onto the screen of your mind. We think in pictures. Now, how about when I say the word mind? What do you think of? Most people say they picture a brain. But our brain is a part of our physical body. Our brain is no more a part of our mind than our fingernail is. In 1934, a holistic doctor was trying to help his patients understand healing. He realized that when he spoke of the mind, there was confusion. And since he knew that people think in pictures, he wanted to give his patients something that would bring clarity to that subject, to clear up the confusion. So this is the beginning of the image he created for them. He used a large circle to represent our mind and the small circle to represent our body. For this discussion, I'm going to talk about two parts of our mind, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind. And then, of course, there's our body. With this image, we can begin to understand how our mind and our body work together to give us our results. Thoughts and ideas begin in our conscious mind, our thinking mind. And whatever thoughts we do not reject go into our subconscious mind. You and I both know there's a lot of negativity in our world. And this means that if we want to reject a bad or a negative thought, we must consciously reject it with our thinking mind. Our subconscious mind has no ability to reject thoughts, good or bad. It takes in and absorbs whatever we allow into it, just like a sponge absorbs water. Our subconscious mind is the home to our paradigms. This is the storage vault for all the thoughts and ideas that we have taken in and accepted since our birth. We accepted them from the people around us, and we probably had a little of self-talk too. Our paradigm is our inner programming. Thoughts and ideas collect in our subconscious mind. They become a collection of habits, which makes up our programming. And this programming is what directs our behaviors, and our behaviors become our actions. On a bit of a side note, culture is group paradigm. It's a collective paradigm or the inner programming of a group. We can refer to the culture of a country or of a certain group of people. We can also talk about the culture of a company or an organization. So when I mention paradigm, this applies to our individual programming, but it can also apply to a group's culture. Our subconscious mind, our paradigms and our habits, has direct control over our behaviors. And this moves our body into action. Our brain is like a switching station between our mind and our body. And from there, we produce results. When the world around us reacts to our actions and our results, we find ourselves in a circumstance or a situation. And that circumstance can be either a negative one or a positive one, all based on the kinds of thoughts we entertained and allowed into our subconscious mind. So this is a snapshot of how our marvelous mind works. And understanding this, we have the power to take control of our thoughts. And we can bring a new dimension to our life and to our work. So to recap, our results are a direct reflection of our thinking. When we learn to create and control our thinking in a certain way, we find we have direct control over our results and our circumstances. And it all started with our choosing our thoughts and putting those thoughts together to form ideas. Those ideas can be either negative or positive thoughts. It's all up to us. Our conscious mind is our thinking mind, and this is where our thought process starts. Our subconscious mind is our emotional mind and the home to our inner programming, our paradigm. With our thinking mind, we originate thoughts in two different ways. First, using our sensory factors, our five senses. This is the way we communicate with the world around us, and it communicates back. And secondly, we can use the gifts of our intellectual factors to originate thoughts. These are our higher faculties, and this is what enables us to expand our thinking and to take our results to an entirely new level. These factors include our imagination, our creative side, our intuition, our memory, our perception. It enables us to see things from another person's point of view, our reasoning powers, and our will, which allows us to stay focused on a goal or an idea. Again, our paradigm is our emotional mind. Part of our paradigm is genetic programming. It comes to us from our ancestors, but most of it is environmental conditioning coming to us through our five senses, maybe through our self-talk. When I talk about our programming controlling our results, to understand how this works, you might compare it to the autopilot in an airplane. When the airplane takes off and gets off track, the autopilot pushes it back on track. In life, if we try to make changes beginning with our physical being and our outside world without changing our inner programming, our paradigm takes us back to our previous level of programming. And that is why so many people make New Year's resolutions and can't keep them. And that's why when people go on diets, the weight goes off and it comes right back on. Another aspect of our subconscious mind is that it is the home to our self-image. Our self-image is made up of the thoughts and ideas about us which we have accepted. We accepted those thoughts into our subconscious mind, and now that collection of ideas makes up our self-image. The important thing to remember is that we can never outperform our self-image. If our self-image is limited in any way, our results are also limited. This is the lesson that strikes home for me. When I discovered what was limiting me, I understood that it was my self-image holding me back from doing my best. I also learned that my self-image can be the primary key to my success. In my childhood, I experienced some very traumatic things, and I didn't realize until I started studying this how much those events had affected my entire life. I had a poor self-image, and that in turn held me back from growing personally and professionally. And now I know what was causing my limitations, and that awareness gives me the power to change it. I mentioned earlier I do mentoring and consulting. I work in conjunction with the Proctor-Gallagher Institute. Bob Proctor is my mentor, and for 57 years he has been studying the mind, how it works and how we can use it to get whatever we want. Bob and his business partner Sandy Gallagher joined forces to form the Proctor-Gallagher Institute. These two people are an amazing study in contrast. He finished only 2 years of high school, and then he started mentoring with someone and studying the mind. He went from making $4,000 a year in 1961 to making millions of dollars a year a few years later. Sandy was an attorney with her Juris Doctorate. She left a very lucrative practice of handling large bank mergers and acquisitions. She immersed herself into studying human potential and success. She joined forces with Bob, and to me, they are examples of how studying this subject can open doors and change circumstances, no matter where we find ourselves in life. As we help people expand their mind and to grow their levels of awareness, we use a variety of tools, and I'll just touch on a few. One is Thinking into Results. This is a guided 6-month study program. It's facilitated and it has a level of accountability built in which helps assure that the participants succeed. The study and the activities begin with setting goals that assure the participants' growth, and from there, each lesson builds on the previous one, leading the participant to develop their ability to understand their mind, how to use their mind in combination with the knowledge and schooling they may already have, and to use that and put it all together to realize their dreams. Another tool is the NAU Lead the Field program, and this is a self-study program. It's based on a classic work by Earl Nightingale and expanding on the work he did. So who do we help? We work with individuals and we work with teams. Teams of people with shared missions and shared purposes and goals. For individuals, they might want real change in a variety of areas, such as their finances, their relationships, or their health. For teams, it might be a leadership team looking to help the company reach a major goal. It might be a sales team looking to blow their numbers out of the water. Or it might be a production team looking for a breakthrough in efficiency. These are just a few of the examples of who we work with. But the amazing part for me goes back to our potential being unlimited, and that we have the power to change our results and the circumstances we find ourselves in. This means growth, personal or professional, to whatever level we wish to take ourselves. So in answering Tammy's invitation to share with you, my sincere desire has been to give you a glimpse into something that has transformed my life. Thoughts are the most powerful force in the world, and learning to use our thoughts to create whatever we desire is the basis for adding that new dimension to whatever we wish. I enjoyed studying and learning when I was a student at NAU, and now learning this has brought new meaning and new energy to my life and my living, to my degree, if you will. So before I close, I have a few questions for you to ponder. Since your potential is unlimited, as is mine, and you know where you are in life today, think about these. First, do you have any long-term goals? If so, what are they? Where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years from now? And secondly, what might be holding you back from already having achieved that? We know that if anyone has already achieved what they want to accomplish, then they are also capable of achieving that. So ability is most likely not holding any of us up. The answer is, it is our paradigm or our level of awareness which limits our progress. This is not a bad or an abnormal thing. It's how we were created to work and to progress. Our paradigm keeps us in our comfort zone, and there is no growth in our comfort zone. Tammy, thanks again for giving me this opportunity. The presentation will be available for replay, and if you hear any ideas today that you haven't heard before, I encourage you to watch it repeatedly. Repetition is a major player in changing our paradigm, and if we want to increase and enhance our results, that is what we must do to raise our level of awareness. I'll be leaving a downloadable PDF with Tammy. It summarizes what we went over this afternoon. And also, there will be contact information included there. If anyone has questions that come up later, feel free to give me a call or shoot me a text. So Tammy, thanks again. It's been great.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was fascinating. I will, as you said, share both a link to the recording of this video and the PDF you referenced. I'll also include my contact information with that should there be any follow-up questions for you. But it was really a terrific presentation and a new way, I think, for a lot of people to be thinking about what's standing in their way.
Yeah.
So thank you for that very empowering presentation.
Yeah. If there's any questions, I welcome them.
I'll absolutely forward those to you.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Sure.